morning, everybody. Can you hear me at home? Just let me know if you can. A thumbs up from someone.
Yes, I can hear.
Perfect. Wonderful. Oh, a bit of background there.
Yes,
Hey, Jim. Hey, Ingrid. Hey, Virginia. Hey, Alan. Oh, is that us or you? That's a terrible noise. That's not me, though. That is somebody else. If you could mute yourselves, that'd be great. Thank you. I think it might be you, Ingrid. If you could.
Yes, I put the headphones in, so it should be okay now.
Perfect. Thanks, Ingrid. That's much better.
No worries, sorry.
Wonderful. No.
Two devices at the same time.
Yeah, a bit painful on the ears, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right, Chokyi
No
will be here in a moment. Thank you. Is that recording? Yes, it is. Okay. And that's recording sound.
Just to get our heads in the right space. No. The Heart Sutra is about dependent arising and emptiness and everything. Mantra is Hayata, Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhi, Soha. And maybe we could just recite that. Waiting for Chokyi to come in. They'll all leave it off you. Hayata, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhi, Soha. It is in the prayer book. Hayata, Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhi, Soha. Hayata, Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhi, Soha. It's on page 235. Hayata, Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhi, Soha. Hayata, Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhi, Soha. Hayata, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, May. I've been all very happy. Hayata, Gate, Parasamgate, Bodhi, Soha. Hayata, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhi, Soha. Hayata, Gate, Parasamgate.
Rejoicing, rejoicing. Good morning. You're warmed up. I love it when people start ahead. Just go on with that.
Just so you know, we're all unmuted and going live.
Okay, shall we prostrate together? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm supposed to be noticing something. I noticed Sally's with her. I knew Sally was coming. Oh, you didn't know. Welcome back, Sally, and everyone else. It's good to have. 11 joining me here in the Gompa. That's fantastic. And joining everyone online. Thank you very much. So it was wonderful that you started with the Heart Sutra, because guess what? You started with the Heart Sutra. Shouldn't surprise you, right? So you had the page, didn't you? 230. So 232. Oh, those who have. So this is, we have this little in our books. I don't know if people have the retreat book, but there's Praise to the Perfection of Wisdom, which is like a summary in 4 lines of the Heart Sutra, which is already a summary of the 80,000 teachings, verses on wisdom realizing emptiness, which is this topic, huge topic that we're addressing. Anyway, so praise to perfection of wisdom, the indescribable, inconceivable, and inexpressible perfection of wisdom, unproduced, unceasing, the nature of space, object of the uniquely knowing transcendental wisdom, to the mother of the victorious ones of the 3 times I prostrate. So it's a short version. Maybe some have in your books and some don't, I think. But then we can recite together the whole of the Heart Sutra, essence of the perfection of wisdom sutras. In other words, in a nutshell, or in 21 or 24 verses. I forget how many. Okay. I prostrate the 3 noble, rare, sublime ones. Thus did I hear at one time. The Bhagawan was dwelling on Massa Vulture's mountain in Rajagriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Bhagawan was absorbed in the concentration of the categories of phenomena called profound perception. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound perfection of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara: how should any son of the lineage train who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are emptiness, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no odor, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on, up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the 3 times also manifestly, completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequal, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared. Tayata Gate, and we've got the Om crossed out. We used to have it there, and Geshe-la said I was swallowing it because it was in brackets and I wasn't sure whether to say it or not. He said, Om is disappearing. Anyway, sometimes we have Om and sometimes we don't, and we make jokes about it here. Some of our mantras were in, out. So Om, body, speech, and mind of the Buddha. But for now, we've got it crossed out. For now. Tayata, gate, gate, padagate, padasam gate, bodhi swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Bhagawan arose from the concentration and commended the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Bhagawan, having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara, and those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Bhagawan. Okay, so we'll keep that as a reference point for us as we go throughout the weekends. Welcome, everybody. I was just thinking as we were doing that we recently had on the international, I think we might put people on mute. If you just, I just ask people to mute yourselves if you're not already muted to, thanks Ingrid, so that when you want to jump in and talk, discuss and so forth, just unmute and go for it. So just before we launch in, what do we need to announce? Or did you announce some things already? No. Anyone announce anything? So, I was thinking about this because we did the Heart Sutrathon, yes. And that was on International Sangha Day, which is also Wheel Turning Day. I have to say, celebrating Sangha, we have Venerable Wangmo and Venerable Yangshan here, celebrating today, 3 months of ordination. Wow, wow, wow. Tomorrow. No, but today, it was a Saturday.
It was a Saturday.
Today and tomorrow, whole weekend. We're celebrating their 3 months. It's just sort of a milestone. There's always these threes that come along, 3 months, 3 years, you know, all these milestones. Anyway, rejoice, rejoice, rejoice in your maintaining your vows. Haven't had enough time to break them yet, so they're still pure. Very good. They've been too busy. Okay, so we engaged in this Heart Sutrathon, and so I'm mentioning that because on the basis of that, Rinpoche was so inspired that then Rinpoche said, okay, now every week you Sangha members around the world, and that started subsequently straight away, what we're calling the prayer-a-thon. Thakton Gyalpo's prayer, one of the prayers that Lama Zopa Rinpoche gave the transmission of right at the beginning of lockdown in March, gave the transmission of this prayer to overcome pandemic, basically disease. It's so it was based on Thakton Gyalpo, who was basically seen as a Buddha in Tibet, and he was a great architect, engineer. He built a lot of or designed, and I don't know if he physically built them himself, a lot of the iron bridges in Tibet and Bhutan, some still being used today, and so forth. And he, I think a doctor, anyway, he was multi-skilled, right? Good at everything. One of those people. I mean, he was a Buddha. Anyway, so at a time in Western Tibet, the great Sakya monastery was overcome with this epidemic and disease, and they tried all sorts of rituals, they tried all sorts of practices and prayers, they tried medicines, they tried everything, couldn't pacify it, couldn't eliminate it, and it looked like the monastery was going to be wiped out and the whole area wiped out, and so people wiped out. And so through the power of Thakton Gyalpo's prayer, they invited him, and he was able to pacify the disease. And then subsequently there was famine, and he was able to pacify the famine. Subsequently, there was conflict, you know, between groups. We know what that's like. He was able to pacify the conflict. Wouldn't we love that right now in the world? So Rinpoche has advised us to continue to do this prayer-a-thon, so every Saturday, until the pandemic declines. I thought he said ends, but when he said declines, I felt better.
Yes.
Just go down a bit. Hi, Yasmin. Beautiful flowers too. Thank you. Beautiful. Maybe Venerable Youngtion will help you out. And yeah, so that's I'm mentioning that is going on at the moment. We've set up a sort of Gompa effect. Well, I haven't done any of it. Leonie and Margot yesterday are having an exciting time putting up tankas in the office. And so the nuns will start that shortly. And Tim actually was helping out with the overnight stays in the office, weren't you, Tim? In doing, helping out on the tech team. Venerable Tendar from IMI calls us the multimedia team, and just like, if only you knew. Sorry, Tendar, it's not. He's on the other channel. So they're all on the other channel. So they're on another Zoom, which is going on YouTube, which is why this class now, until pandemic ends, I guess, won't be on YouTube on the Saturdays, but hopefully we're recording it so that then that will go to YouTube subsequently, because I know there were some people who said they couldn't come, you know, like Sonia and so forth doing night shift, and so could they join it later on YouTube. Sunday's no problem, just the Saturday. So Sunday will be on, tomorrow will be on YouTube as well. I don't know if I put that in the email, sorry, but tomorrow will be on YouTube. Anyway, for any of you listening. Okay. Virginia, hi, have to leave a bit early. Congratulating you on your ordination. Everyone's celebrating your ordination. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful venerables. Right here, cool. Okay, so launching into this very deepest end of the pool. I know every time I say we do the deep end of the pool, but I think this, well, no, next one will be deepest, but let's say the most obscure topic. Okay, so yesterday Geshe-la was teaching, the Friday morning teachings actually, Geshe Sultan said during the week, he said the Friday morning teachings, he considers his most important teaching he's giving at the moment. So, wow. Just saying, which is the middle length lamb rim, Lama Tsongkhapa's middle length lamb rim. So, I mean, it makes sense, the whole path to enlightenment. So Geshe was teaching about that yesterday, and on the, you know, the qualities of the teacher. One is which is realization of emptiness. But actually, myself not being in that category, actually I was thinking of Punsog Rinpoche when he came to Vajrayana Institute when he was 12 years old. And because his previous incarnation, Geshe Lama Konchog, you know, had indicated to Rinpoche shortly before he, you know, left the body behind, discarded the body, traded it in for a gorgeous new young one. Gave the indication that Rinpoche realized later, he was saying that he'd realized emptiness. And actually in his relics, some of the relics were the 5 wisdom Buddha colors, the 5 different colors, the, you know, sort of white, yellow, red, green, blue, indicating the accomplishment of the 5 wisdom. So, wow. And so Punsog Rinpoche was asked, so have you realized emptiness? And he says, give me a break, I'm 12 years old. So you can't tell who has, you know, you cannot tell who has by their outer appearances, who's had that realization. So it is, but also itself is an extremely hidden phenomenon. So let's just give it a go. This is just a tip into the deep pool. Okay, so you've got, hopefully people have the course outline. If there's, yeah, I think even Kate, you got, right? I think you did. I sent it this morning. So I just, on the course outline, right, we've got the sessions, and then we've got the retreat weekend coming up in September. We've got dates for that. I think we've got our dates for the rest of the year. We're actually going to complete those who've been, some of you have been here throughout the whole course. I'm looking at a couple, which will complete this year. in December. So we might be having some, or we'll have to have some other celebration in December. I mean, hello, who knows what sort of gathering we can have there.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, you can.
Ingrid.
Yeah,
I
Ingrid.
have just looked at the course notes, the ones that you put together,
Yes.
and it looks as if session 5 may be missing. I have altogether 8 pages, and if you look what you send out, there is Wisdoms of Emptiness, that's session 4.
Yeah, I will rectify that. Yes.
And then 6. So I think we might be missing the page
You
for
are,
4.
and so are we. So are we. Do you know, I didn't even realize. So there you go. Session 5 is empty of inherent and conventional existence. So.
Okay, thank you.
So I will send that out. That's for tomorrow anyway. So thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Good. On the ball. That means you've looked at it. I rejoice, Ingrid.
Yes.
So the recommended readings. So we've got the usual Discovering Buddhism ones and Liberation in the Palm. But also these, I think we've got a display of those, have we? So here we have physically the copies of How Things Exist and Virtue and Reality, the Lama Yeshe Wisdom Archives books. So, but they're easily accessible online on lamayeshe.com. Rachel. Absolutely, it's all yours. Yes, it's yours, right? It's for your heart's content. So there's copies here for people. We generally have there probably is a donation box with it. Yeah, of course there is. I mean, it was wonderful. Dakini set everything up very nicely for us this morning. Thank you very much. And so, yeah, there is a donation box there. The donations that you don't have to make a donation, but any donation goes back to Lama Yeshe Wisdom Archives for continuing to, I mean, it's so wonderful service, you know. Thank you, Nick and friends. Keeping this service going since the, 70s, right? Wow. Which is basically recording all of Lama Yeshe's and Lama Zopa's teachings and making those accessible, and with the help of a whole big, huge editorial team. Okay, and then the Essence of the Heart Sutra, this I have to say is a personal favorite by His Holiness. The Essence of the Heart Sutra, maybe some of you have looked at that, I'm not sure, but it's yeah. Yes, Venerable Wongma's flashing her copy around. So that's in the library as well. So we've got a little display down there in the library for those who are here. I think it's open at 11, I think. Anyway, it's open today. So you can get most of these in the library as well. The Great Treatise on the Path to Enlightenment, Volume 3. Now, I just have to say a word of caution. It's dense. I sort of put it there and I thought, it'll suit some people. Yeah. The word of caution is that when we were studying that with that volume 3 with Geshe Samten in Vajrayana Institute, wait for it, 6.5 years. And I still know nothing. So I think Geshe-la's been talking about, you know, reading the text over and over and over and over and over and over. And I'm like, yeah, I need to do that. So so it is dense. And it is volume 3. So you've waded through volume 1 and volume 2, but it is a go-to. I mean, it presents all the classic arguments, counter arguments. It's really like basic program, master's program, quite advanced. But anyway, so it's something to aspire to. And the Lam Rim outlines, a lot more achievable. It's just a couple of pages in there, but I find that it just sets out very clearly, particularly into what we're looking at in session 3. Just sets it out very nicely. Of course, Lama Zopa is setting it out very nicely, and Venerable Karen, who we saw on the prayer-a-thon, me and Leonie, and were you there? Yeah. Waving at her at Copan, yeah. Hadn't seen her for so long. So lovely. And then in terms of practices, yes, the Heart Sutra. And a couple of years ago here with Geshe-la, we had a Heart Sutra retreat. Maybe were you here for that? Yeah, pretty amazing, wasn't it? I think it was just not long after I came up here a couple of years ago, and wow, to have a Heart Sutra retreat, and maybe we need a few more. But one can do, Lama Zopa has given advice actually on, there's a book on doing the Heart Sutra, doing a Heart Sutra retreat. So here we are looking at the wisdom aspect. You know, last module was looking at, whoops, wrong side, wisdom aspect. Sorry, Manjushri. Left side. Right side, compassion. So we were looking at the, you know, bodhisattva deeds, the 6 perfections, cultivating a mind of compassion, loving kindness, and so forth, the compassion side. And then we need the wisdom side, right? So this is where we are at now. And then the ultimate special insight is, you know, we combine wisdom and compassion. Easy peasy. No, sorry. Not easy, not easy. But whatever understanding we gain in looking at and reflecting on and discussing about the wisdom, realizing emptiness, whatever understanding we have makes all those practices that we do more powerful. So just, even if we think, well, I'm confused about wisdom, which is the antidote to the confusion, then it's still, Rinpoche says, even you hear the word, you know, it starts to chip away and at our deluded states of mind, our confused states of mind. So anyway, Heart Sutra, go to. And the Vajrakata Sutra, so also called the Diamond Cutter Sutra. I was with the Dalai Lama, I wasn't with the Dalai Lama. We were waiting as a group, Prison Project, to see the Dalai Lama. And the interview that His Holiness was having with a journalist, we were told, was going overtime. And it was in Sydney, and it was in like I keep thinking it's like a tent, because maybe it wasn't a tent, but there was only like a sheet hanging down between where that interview was happening and where I was sitting. You know, we were all sitting in a group, but I was sort of closest to there. And so my ears going, wow, wow. I don't know who's this interviewee, but this is amazing. And it was all about the Vajrakata Sutra, the Diamond Cutter Sutra. Subsequently, I found out who the interview was with. And she was a student at Vajrayana Institute, Joyce Morgan, who wrote the, I wrote about, Journeys on the Silk Road, about the finding of the Vajrakata Sutra. So, and so she was having this discussion on emptiness, getting these private teachings, and I wish I could remember, but my ear was like, I don't mind, we can wait as long as we And so in the end, of course, we just had because His Holiness had to go on stage then, and it was just like a flyby, hello, goodbye, love your work. And then we presented what we presented, and boom. But how amazing, I'm like, Joyce, now I know it. So His Holiness was very impressed, you know. Anyway, so like that, Vajrakata Sutra. So yeah, it has a long history, and we've got multiple copies here. And